Hi everybody, this is Everyday Commentary, and this is a video overview of this knife. And this knife is the American Knife Company Forest knife. And this is a knife designed by Jim Noka, who took a lot of design cues from Mors Kochanski. And it is produced by Bark River Knives. And as you can see, it is a medium-sized fixed blade. So it's a little bit shorter than, say, like my BK9. But it's also bigger than, like an everyday carry fixed blade. It's probably not something you can readily carry in your pocket. The handle is a really nice polished black G10, and it is A2 steel. It's just under a 1/4 inch thick, so it's like 3/16 inches thick. It has, unusual for a Bark River made knife, it has only a partial convex grind. So the convex grind actually starts here. This knife is very similar to a custom knife or a handmade knife called the Skookum Bush Tool. And that knife was designed, to follow the guidelines of Mors Kochanski. If you if you subscribe to the Caramount Wilderness Ways video channel on YouTube, or if you've read of any of his books, you can see sort of the trademark Kochanski design features. So first of all, it is a very, very nice in the hand feel. There's no hot spots, there's no weird things going on with the handle. It just fits your hand really nice and easy. The swell here gives you something to grip onto. There's a little bit of a hook at the end to sort of hold your hand in place. This knife has a great handle because it'll let you hold the knife in a bunch of different ways. You can easily hold it. I don't know why you'd ever do that, but you could do that if you want to. The handle is just excellent. The little polished butt here is nice and clean, and it gives you a little bit of counterbalance. The spine itself is mated very nicely. It passes the fingernail test. You can just wipe your fingernail over it. And the fasteners here are smooth to the touch. Overall, this is exactly what you get with pretty much every Bark River. Just an immaculate, clean, finished, well-finished knife. The blade itself has a continuous curve from the point at which the edge is sharpened all the way up to the tip. And again, this is something that Mors Kochanski pointed out as being ideal in sort of a survival or a field knife, camp knife kind of idea. And here it matches exactly with what he said. One thing that I would note is that while the Skookum Bush Tool is technically available, the website that sells it hasn't been updated since 2009, and they're just incredibly hard to get. This knife is readily available from Knives Ship Free and a couple other places, and it's not that expensive. I mean, this is a high-end fixed blade, so you're not going to be getting this for anything less than $200, but you can get some really fancy versions that are close to $300, and you can get some pretty basic versions that are around $230, $240. Overall, it's a really well-made knife. Now, the sheath, typically on fixed blades, the sheath is sort of a bleh, or, at best, a non-issue. But here the sheath is really interesting. First of all, it has this design on the back to allow a belt to go through this way, or a belt to go through this way. So it gives you a bunch of different options for carry. So you can carry it in like a normal style, you can carry it scout style. The other thing that's interesting about this sheath is that it has this loop for fire steel, which is pretty traditional, but right there. This knife also has the rare earth magnet. This sheath also has the rare earth magnet. So the sheath is pretty tight right now, but I imagine that over time it'll get looser. But even if it does, there's something else helping to retain the knife inside the sheath. The sheath itself is made of nice leather. It's thick and it's pretty sturdy, but it's not so sturdy that it feels like you're carrying a 2x4 in your pocket or 2x4 in your hip. I haven't used this out at all, so I'm just going over and showing you what the things are and what the features are. I'll probably make another video after I beat this knife up a little bit. But look for a review, and thanks to Knives Ship Free for sending this to me. And go check out some of the other knives that Jim is producing. Jim runs a podcast called Knife Journal Podcast, and it's a good podcast. He knows a lot about knives. He's been on Gear Geeks Live. So go, if you don't listen to that podcast, give it a try. Jim knows what he's doing, and this knife is an indication of that. So that's it. That's a video overview of the American Knife Company Forest knife.